Welcome back to Melody Guitar Book 2. This book focuses on learning how to read and play melodies in standard music notation. You can watch all these videos for free, but it's going to be a lot easier to learn if you have your own copy of Melody Guitar 2 that you can read from and write in. Plus you can help feed a music teacher, so I'll leave a link in the description. We're on page 85. We have two new melodies, both with flats and one with quite a bit of syncopation. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, play. At the top of page 85, we have number 159, the theme from Polovetzian Dances. This is in common time, marked moderato, quarter equals 96, so there's your 96. And this one has quite a few flats in it, and we'll take a look. In the first line, we have an E flat in the second measure. Now your E is second fret on the fourth string, so your E flat is going to be a half step or one fret lower on the first fret. And at the very end of the first line, we have a low B flat. Your B is on second fret, fifth string, so your B flat will be a half step lower or one fret to the left on the first fret of the fifth string. Now make sure you're counting through these long notes throughout this song. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2 and 3, 4 and 1, and 2, 3, 4, 1. Now in our second line, we have a B flat coming up. Now at the end of the second line, we have a rest on beat 1, and then we have a B flat in the middle of the staff. Remember, this B flat has to move to another string from your second string B, which is open, because we're out of guitar. So we have to move to the third string, and this will be on the third fret. So that's where that B flat is. So in that measure, last measure of the second line, we have a rest, and then now that D is also on the third fret on the second string. So what you can do, you can play your A. When you play your B flat, go ahead and press both strings down with your third finger. And then we're on to the third line. The last two lines are the same as the first two lines. They're just an octave higher. So we have C, C, G, and 1. Now this E flat right here is going to be on second string, fourth fret with your fourth finger, because normally that E as a natural note will be on the first string as an open note. To lower that a half step, we have to move to the second string and play it on the fourth fret. So beginning of the third line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, E flat, 2, 3, 4, 1, and there's that B flat again on the third fret. Now I did something a little sneaky with the G and the D at the end of the third line. I played my G with my fourth finger and my D with my third finger, just for smoothness. Now of course you can play them both with your third finger, or you could mash them, but in this case I like to use 4, 3, and last line, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now we have those B flats again, and that note is tied, and then there's a fermata above that last note, so hold that as long as you like. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, play. At the bottom of page 85, we have number 160. It's in 4/4 time, and it's simply marked rock for the tempo, which does not give you a specific tempo marking. The playthrough was at quarter equals 110, and you can play it at that speed, faster or slower, whatever feels good to you. Before we talk about the syncopations and the flats in this one, let's take a look at the road map. When we get to the very end, we can see there's a DC al fine marking. Remember, the DC takes you back to the very beginning, and then the al fine means we're going to stop wherever the fine bar is. So in this case, we play all the way through, jump back to the beginning, and then our fine bar is at the end of the second line, so that's where we stop. Let's take a look at these syncopations and flats now. Starting in measure 1, we have a syncopated rhythm with a C, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Again, that's 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And then we have an E flat on beat 3. So that's going to be your first fret because your E, natural, would be second fret. A flat lowers it a fret or half step, in this case to the first fret. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Second measure, we have a low B flat. That's going to be first fret. And notice that staccato under the C in beat 2 of the second measure, so play that short. Third measure, we have that same syncopation to E flat, but this time we go up to an F, and then back to an E flat, C. So let me do that whole first line. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Second line begins as the first line, but then we have something different in the third measure. We have a couple G flats. Now your G will be open third string. G flat is going to have to be on the fourth string, fourth fret. And because of the rule of accidentals, that second G on beat 2, that's going to be G flat as well. And then we have an E flat coming right after that. So here's the second line to the G flats. Beginning in the third line, we have some eighth notes and some rest. And notice these eighth notes are accented rest. So those are going to be a little louder than everything else. Rest. Then we're marked piano. We're going to play a little softer here, but also we have a B flat on beat 1 of measure 2 of the third line. Now your B will be your open string, but this B flat is going to be on the third fret, third string, third finger. So it's B flat, C, G. And then we have some more accented notes, this time C's, rest, and then E flat. That E flat is going to be on the second string, fourth fret. Remember that E as a natural note will be open on the first string. To make it an E flat, we have to lower it by moving to the second string, fourth fret. So that third line, rest, C's, rest, E flat. beginning of the last line. It's almost identical to the line we just played, except in measure 2, we have a rest on beat 4 instead of a half note. So we have rest, and then we have some G flats. This is pretty much like the last 2 measures of the second line, except instead of playing quarter note G flats, you're playing eighth note G flats. Then we have that DC al fine, so we go back to the beginning, do those first 2 lines again, and we stop at the fine bar. Your assignment is to practice the melodies on page 85, and as always, work on keeping a steady tempo by playing along with a video or play to a metronome so you can choose your own tempo. Don't forget to order your own copy of Melody Guitar Book 2. You can watch all these videos for free, but it's going to be a lot easier to learn with your own book that you can read from and write in, so I'll leave a link in the description. Take your time with this, and then when you're ready, I'll see you on page 86. We'll have a melody that has both sharps and flats.